Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath.
It's us again.
Heck yeah.
Just couldn't get rid of me.
Nope. Well, I mean, last episode...
Couldn't keep me down. Just couldn't get rid of me.
Last episode, we were a bit...
Short-staffed.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I was like, I have to go to bed super early for a meeting because I have a meeting the next day, so I can't do it.
So we were like,
And then...
shit.
And then,
Oops.
But no, then I got halfway to my meeting and it got canceled, and I was like, it really do be like that sometimes.
And then he was like, fuck.
Yeah.
and it has many words, yes.
Big heck.
So then, I just was like, it really do be like that sometimes, and just turned around. So
On this bitch
kinda-
of an earth.
For me, yeah, right. For me, not being able to make it to the podcast for a meeting that got canceled on the day of the meeting, that's grand. I was like, whatever.
Yep, gotta love it.
It do indeed be like that, though.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
But has it been, I guess, like, better in the past couple days for you? Anything?
I'm busy.
Has your well-being improved at all?
I have so many days off because I had to while I'm going full time and doing all my other stuff for all that. I'm like waiting for some stuff to go through, and all those days off have been filled with other crap.
Fun.
Oh,
Everything
right.
else. So it's like kind of like weird. I don't know, but it's been good.
I have a couple of days, like leisure days coming up pretty soon that I'm excited about. That's like they're just like days I have off that I have like plans to like not do a whole lot.
Yeah.
That sounds so nice.
I know. We had this conversation on the last episode about my crazy schedule, so I won't get into all that again. But if you want to hear about that, listen to last week's episode
Continuity.
where Dylan and I just kind of ramble.
From what I hear,
yeah,
ramble for an hour.
yeah, it was.
That's why I called it Ramble Rumble.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it was I really enjoyed that. I needed that. I think like what I didn't know until after it was all finished with. I was like, I needed just a chance to just sit down and vent with Dylan for about an hour. It was good, but these next couple of days, I'm kind of looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have some nice plans to like. Of course, obviously, work's still happening, so I'm like kind of nervous about that, making my fun days not so fun. But I'm gonna try and differentiate the two, a little better.
Yeah,
you know,
days off don't count if you're doing anything. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Like if people like need me for something or like I have to do something, I'm like it doesn't feel like a day off because it's like I don't get to do what I wanted to do, which was ideally right now
nothing.
Right. And the thing is like that's why I don't like the people saying if you're introverted or extroverted. I'm like, man, yeah, I have tendencies that vary, man. Like if I've been doing nothing for a while, I got to do something with people, and that's what I want to do.
There's
But
just
like
days where
I've been doing so much somethings with so many peoples that I'm like, yeah, I want to do literally
lot of
nothing
nothing.
for
Yeah.
like 2 days. And they're like, oh, that's because you're introverted. Yeah, but then after my 2 days, guess what I want to do? People stuff. Those
Yeah.
titles don't mean anything to me. They don't
Right.
count.
there's just days when fuck you, and other days you're like, hey,
I love you.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Even though we kind of, I'm hoping to get us back on a regular like schedule here,
Yeah.
so that way we can
That'd be great.
not feel like we have to stumble around on this podcast thing again, because I felt so bad. It was
Big
crazy.
fumble.
Yeah.
Haha. Well, we watched Aliens.
Yeah.
Yes, a little continuation of the last movie,
Alien.
Alien.
That was a while back. 'cause
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
that was a
singular.
little.
that wasn't the last, it was a while back.
Yeah.
But
Couple
we did
episodes.
watch Alien, and now we're watching Aliens. And
Yeah.
as I was saying just a little bit before the podcast, on the plus side, I liked this one more than the last one. So it isn't just gonna be a 30-minute roast session of Aliens. Because that was like one of the only movies I think in the list that I just didn't really like that much was Alien, and I basically just roasted it. But the thing is, like, at least in this movie, like, it felt like the characters like had a brain. Like, at least I felt like there wasn't, particularly Ripley, but like all of the characters were guilty of this in the previous movie. So I guess it's kind of all of them, but particularly Ripley. At least there wasn't characters being like, we need to stick together, and then going off on their own and then dying. And I was like, oh, do you now? Do you really? Or like, we need to stick together. Now, you go
By
out on
we,
your
I
own.
mean the rest of you and not me.
Yeah, no, we need to stick together. But you go out on your own so you can die. You're just fodder for the plot. Like, what?
I hate you. Bye.
Or toward the end of the movie, we need to stick together, and then Ripley plot armors her way through surviving because it's like, but you're on your own.
Yeah,
Like, it's kind of, at least this one, it felt like they were sticking together, and everything just went sideways, which was made it feel a little bit, better of a movie. But I will say there are a couple of things that I did call very early in the movie. One of them I wasn't sure about, and I was kind of satisfied by. There was one of them I wasn't sure about, but the first thing was that I literally put it right here.
Before he continues, though,
What?
both Dylan and myself have watched this movie before. So, like, this is my second watching of it. I don't even know for Dylan. It's probably numerous ones.
Yeah,
so,
like
Ethan over
18th.
here rambling, like, spouting off some, like, goofy...
Yeah, because
like,
I know I'm the only person who hasn't seen it before.
exactly. And he's, like, saying all... He's about to say it right now.
Yeah.
But what he was saying, I was like, oh, buddy, if you only
Oh, I'm not
knew.
getting to that one yet. No, so I'm like... There were a couple... And there's some things that, I don't know, again... It's why I didn't watch movies very much before we started the podcast. There's just some things I kind of see it and then I'm like, yeah, it's kind of coming. That one I wasn't sure about, but I like as soon as I saw him, I literally wrote down right here. Once I found out his name, I wrote down his quote where he was like, "That could have gone better, lol." And I whenever he said that, and like after that meeting where he was like, "That could have gone better," I was like, I said out loud, "God, I hate that guy." And that was Carter Burke. I knew he was the big evil guy. Like I knew he was evil from like the first 5 minutes because I was like, "God, you're such a dick wagon."
I'm from the company, but don't let that fool you. I'm actually a pretty okay guy.
And I was like, "No, you're not,"
Definitely
because
not.
then she's like, "Hey, is anyone like is my daughter okay?" And he's like, "Well, we got people out there, big name people, lots of money going on there." And I was like,
Yeah, but my daughter though,
yeah, and
motherfucker.
I was just like, yeah, but also that's not what I care about at all. And then he was like, "Okay, cool." From the beginning of the movie, I was like, "This guy's a dick wagon, and I can't wait for him to die." So then, whenever it turned out he was bad and he was trying to do evil things, I was like,
Checks out.
"This is my shocked face."
Mm.
But he died, so I'm cool. And
I'll come right out and say it. Like I enjoyed this movie overall. I think more than Alien.
I mean, yeah,
like-
that was a hands down. But yes, I did too.
Yeah, but like, I think it's just because I think it's difficult because I think I like the movie better, but like I feel like you can't watch Aliens without watching Alien.
Right.
But I think Alien's a great movie. I just think Aliens is more fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's
I
just
think
my
it's a
personal
superior
thing.
movie on every front. I really, like I said, everything about the character development. My only like complaint was like, man, I felt like the beginning was so slow.
Yeah.
No, I get it. It kind of had to be, but I was sitting there and I was like, I felt like whenever we finally started getting to like, yeah, we're going on the planet. No lie, I was like, I feel like I've sat through a 1 hour long movie and we're not even on the planet yet. Now, given it was a long movie, so I probably did, but I was just like, frick, man. Like,
Yeah. I really like the action aspect of Aliens,
Yeah.
but the feel of the first one is what gets me.
Yeah, I think that's why I didn't like the first one.
Creeps me the fuck out.
I felt this one way more.
Yeah.
Like it was more action packed, but I feel like it even did more solidly. I kind of creep out. Like, even though I will admit that in general, each individual xenomorph was significantly less intimidating in this movie than they were in the
Yeah. Oh,
original
yeah,
one because
definitely.
they had weapons now, but also they were just weaker now. Like they were more like fodder for the plot.
Yeah.
Everything about this one still felt more intense than the first one.
Mhm.
Again, the first one there was just so much going on in it that I was just like, I can't even like for me, I just couldn't. I felt like I just like couldn't take it seriously enough, and I was just like, there's always something that I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, of course.
Like-
And every time, so then it just really took away from the scariness of it. But this one, it like had the consistencies and it felt good, so it actually felt suspenseful. And like that first scene where like everyone starts dying, and then like that really cool sergeant dude dies.
Yeah.
Like that first action scene, I'm like, oh my god, this is going south a hell of a lot faster than I thought it would. I was like, haha, who's gonna die, lol, haha. And I was like,
Everyone.
okay, 4 of them immediately. That was a very big no. We're starting off bad. So like
It was like, I feel like the first movie did a really great job of like establishing the big bad.
Yeah.
obviously.
Building it up.
Yeah, hyping it up to be like, oh, we're like,
It's not stuck in here with us.
Yeah, we're stuck in there with it. It's like it's one of those things like in this movie, like he was saying before, is like it kind of makes them seem a little bit less intimidating to a degree. But like,
Because before they were just trying to fucking catch this thing with like a net and a shock
Yes.
prod.
And that's what I was saying as well. Like, not only does
and a
it seem
flamethrower.
seem less intimidating now, but then you gotta realize also they didn't have guns
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
With light
Uh,
armor
and they
piercing
also
rounds.
and they weren't even like trained either. Like this was a
Right.
trained team of Marines,
Yes.
and they also had guns. Even if you
Mhm.
weren't trained, you had something to work with.
Yeah.
But
But
I also
think
like the
at
consistencies in this one though, like how like they mentioned how they were able to extract the egg from the person, but it killed the person, like
Yeah.
the guy said it would in the other movie.
Mhm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
at the start of this movie though, like I think it everyone's like arrogance towards it, I guess.
That's
Oh,
the way
yeah.
it would totally happen in real life. That was totally believable.
100%.
No one would believe
No,
you.
no one believed it at all. But like they just have this like, oh ha ha ha, especially the Marines, like coming off the heels of watching the first movie. Like you watch the second movie, and you got these guys, these young dudes that are like, we got grenades, we got flamethrowers, we got these plasma rifles.
Supersonic electronic ball breakers.
Yes, exactly. And you're just sitting here like, you didn't see what I saw.
Yeah.
You don't know what we're up against.
I'm sorry. Did
I
you
mean,
see
but
a
you
little
can also
freaking-
tell. But they said it a bunch of times in that one scene. Though, like they were like another bug hunt. Like they've been on bug hunts before,
Right.
and there's always nothing. So it's like for them, they're like, yeah, whatever. It's another bug hunt, and the fact that there's actually bugs this time is what kind of got
Yeah.
them, you know.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of what made it interesting. But Dylan, describe it in 3 words.
Boom, pal.
I totally have mine, and I'm pretty sure I've used this one before. But
Uh-oh.
it's not gonna make any sense.
Okay, let's see.
I haven't explained why it's gonna make sense.
Close the gate.
No.
We said that a whole bunch of times this movie.
Yeah. Wait, no, open the gate a little.
Hmm.
3 words are taking you to-
Supersonic electronic ball breaker.
You know what? That could still count as 3 words, kind
Yeah.
of. It's sort of a combination. That would probably be. I wanted to do the full one, but I had to cut the word "fight" off because that would be more words. But mine would be Gundam International Regulations.
Oh shit! I forgot.
But mine, ideally, if I could have 4, would be Gundam Fight International Regulations.
Mine would be mom versus mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's all it was. There's a point where like you get like towards the 3rd act of that movie, and you're like, this is just alien mom versus human mom.
Yeah.
Maternal instincts at its finest, at its
Yeah.
primal level.
Yeah.
Well,
My kids are
that's-
better than your kids, and I'm gonna kill you for
Fuck
it.
you.
I like how in this movie the synth wasn't the bad guy, so they made it
Yes,
be cool.
I
but,
like that.
Bishop is
the-
good.
I like how in that scene though when we're first finding out that he's a robot,
The
and she's
knife
like-
game.
and she no, we first find he's a robot after the knife game,
Yeah.
and she like slaps the phone out of his hands like stay away from me, and then someone's like the tray flies across the room, and one of the guys says, "Oh, guess she didn't like the cornbread either." I like that line. I wrote that one down.
I forgot how many times the kid does goofy little things.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that
just,
thumbs up
the
was
thumbs
great.
She just has like a little.
You all right? And a little thumbs up. I was like
The
freaking mood.
salute.
Yeah, the little salute.
Me after every shift at work, I'm like, oh, am I all right? And there's just that one brain cell like, we got it, dude. Like I'm gonna get a
Way to
screen
go.
grab of that and just start using that in text
Yeah,
message conversations. Like, just her with the thumbs up, disheveled, hasn't bathed or eaten in a week.
No.
Like
Wearing a helmet that,
Right.
that does not fit. And just like a little gif.
Yeah, right. Just
Perfect.
oh man,
It was
But,
that. There was like you said, like the salute, but there was another one like
yeah.
I don't know. There's just a couple things that she said was really funny.
Newt is a good.
This your doll doesn't have dreams. Let's check and see. Nope, no, it doesn't. That's crazy.
That's
It's
because
like,
she's plastic.
that's because it's a piece of plastic, Ripley. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
this kid is like
Get hecked, right?
slapping you into reality.
It reminds me of all the like on like the Late Late Show or whatever, where people who were from the TV show Stranger Things were on, and they're like 13
Yeah.
or 14 years old, and the guy's like, "So can you read?" And he's like, "I'm 13, Jimmy." like
Can you read?
It's like those lines where like they're like, "Oh, I wonder if this thing dreams." It doesn't. It's plastic. I'm 13, Jimmy. That's what I imagine this little girl. Also, but like, I mean, she's probably actually like 7. But
Exactly.
Still. I
There's
just
a
thought it was
level
funny.
like there should be like a level of innocence still.
Yeah.
It also came on the heels, I think, of did she say that before or after she said the monster thing?
Oh, no, before.
Before.
She
Okay,
also said
'cause
like
I was gonna
monsters
say,
are real. That was a cool. I actually really kind of like that line. That was neat. Where it was
Yeah.
like monsters.
why did they say that?
Yeah, why do they say they're real if they're not? That's because we thought they weren't real.
Yeah, up until right now, it wasn't a thing.
So
imagine that.
But then after all the action, which it was good action, but I didn't have any it was good, but I didn't have anything to write down. Like I thought the turret scenes were cool. Like watching them run out of ammunition. I also, of course, I thought the vital signs that they mentioned were funny because it was like at one point the vital signs were there. And like the EKG looks like a good one. Like they looked up solid 12. Like they looked up a solid sinus rhythm, and then just put that from Google Images, which is all I want. You know,
in the
I hate
80s,
whenever
though.
when they put like freaking like AFib or something on there. Like they put like a weird rhythm or like I had one time
fine.
I was at an event and they were like doing a thing and they had like vital signs as like a joke on there, but people who didn't know they were talking about put them up there, and they was totally a stimmy. It was the guy was having a heart attack, and I was like, you're supposed to put good vitals up there, but the heart rate's meh, the SpO2's low, and that's definitely a heart attack. Like so.
That's
but in this
funny.
one, I saw the vital signs to comment on them. The normal rhythm looked good, but then of course like what I guess was supposed to be the orange one, which I guess is normally capnography, and then the SpO2 were just like ridiculous waveforms, and they were like, yes, everything looks good here, and I was like, yes, it looks like two of those aren't even reading appropriately. I was like, I don't know, but
There's at
like,
least one of you that's dying right now and just doesn't even know it.
no, there's at least one of you that's like playing with the probe on your finger, like you're getting a reading that's ridiculous, like so.
That's funny.
But I thought all the scenes were like pretty good, but like the next thing I commented on that I thought was funny was later in the movie, of course, they're like running out of the building, and the last two surviving people and kid, of course, they can't kill the kid. I knew they wouldn't.
No, of course not.
The last two people are surviving, and they're like, he's like, we're getting ready to leave, and Ripley just says, we're not leaving, and he says, we're not. I love that line.
I could have sworn
This guy has spent the greater part of 2 hours in universe, like crawling through a
Prepping
small,
to leave, yeah.
like inchworming his way through a tunnel,
trying
getting
to
to this
remote control a dropship coming down from space.
Yes, but no, like I said, like prepping a ship, getting it flown into and landing it, and then now
under
of course,
the impression that they have to leave as soon as possible because a thermonuclear explosion is going to kill every alien on the planet and them.
Yes, and then
as soon as he sees them,
the team comes running up there at like full sprint, and of course it's like, we're not leaving yet. And he's like, we're not?
We're not? What do you guys know that I... Also,
Exactly.
where's everybody else at? So many questions he could have asked.
There's
but all
only
he could,
two of you. What happened?
what happened to their like 8?
Yeah.
And so, of course, the first thing he says is, wait, we're not? That's what... He's like, wait a second. Clearly, I'm missing something here.
It was a very honest reaction.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Yeah.
But then, like, to go back, because I just realized I missed it. Like, early in the movie, they're, like, showing off the, like, pallet moving robots or whatever. And I was like,
power loaders.
I was like, they're like showing them off because they're like, yeah, they're used for moving something. And of course, I've already called that the bad guy's bad. I'm like, already Burke's an asshole. I already hate him.
Yeah.
And then of course, the next thing I call, which I for a while there, I thought maybe I was wrong, but then right at the end, I was like, they brought it back.
Yeah, here we go.
But I looked at these like power loader thing and I was like, that's basically just a Gundam. That's basically just a robot that's used for moving. All I'm saying is, if that thing doesn't kill aliens by the end of this movie, I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. I was like, if there isn't a Gundam fight between a xenomorph and that power mover, I'm giving it a 0 out of 10. But
disaster avoided.
I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. We all knew it was coming. At least I did. And what I didn't expect is that it wasn't just any old xenomorph. It was a mama xenomorph. So it was like a boss fight. And of course, as soon as the door opens and it's standing there, I of course shout, "Gundam fight international regulations." Rule number 1: Gundam that has what did he say in the actual TV show?
Units that
its headpiece has been removed or something like he said it as not
head section has been destroyed is disqualified.
And of course they start fighting with the freaking, and you hear in the background like the pistons going. So it's kind of a funny fight scene actually. It's not like dramatic because you just hear weep. So it's really hard to take the scene seriously, but it was like dramatic, and of course,
that thing.
There's like
a good couple of times.
I wanted her to like actually like rip its head off. I wanted her to do like the pincer maneuver and like stab it. There was wasted opportunity in that fight, but it was still pretty cool.
Like she was on the right track though. If she had like gotten any of its blood anywhere, that would have been it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, you're right. Never mind. But still,
there's a point when they did a really good job of making it seem like, just like in the first movie, the arc happens the same way. Just like you see them take off, you see the explosion happen, and you're like, this is it.
Everything's fine now. The movie is over.
The music changes in such a way to make it feel more calm and
building
soothing.
up to the credits.
Exactly. And of course, it's like you're like, okay, now this is like the epilogue. Like we're getting to the point now where everyone's gonna kind of calm down and like do their thing. And then of course
the Queen got a really good "Where Are They Now" segment.
And then oh my gosh, Bishop gets like stabbed inside of his chest. I remember the first time I watched that, and that happened. I was like, oh my god, I got a second time. Just like the first movie. I got the second time, and then he gets ripped in half. And I'm like, oh my god! And I was like, nah, Bishop, because I was like,
I'll admit that in this movie, they did that better. Because in the last movie, as I mentioned, it was like, we're gonna play with the cat and sit down. Like, you guys are milking this too much. There's gonna be an alien in her little escape pod, and there was. So that one again, I felt like, which is, I think, kind of that sums up why I didn't really like the first movie. I always felt like, who's dying now, right? That's what it always felt like. Okay, like, you guys are setting this up a little bit more obvious.
You almost gotta think of it as like a slasher flick.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of. But that's the thing is, I'm not like into those kind of movies where it's like a thriller. That's why I was like, it just didn't really work for me. But this one had more going for it, I feel like. And even with that scene, it was like, I kind of felt it, like, okay, like we're not dragging this on.
Yeah,
but
like they just got back onto the ship.
It wasn't dragged on like that, but it still felt like, okay, but also they made a very important, kind of like a Game of Thrones. If you don't physically see them die, they're not dead. Yeah. And I was like, nobody shot the mama thing, so it's coming, right? Like you're not just gonna have it and not have a kind of boss fight. Right? It's not gonna be so I was like, so mama's gonna show up. What I didn't see coming was him randomly getting run through by the tail. And so I was like, oh, damn. Was he like an alien? What happened? That's a tail. That's not a shirt. It's like a burster. And I look up and I was like, oh, and there it is. Okay, that was a little bit quicker. Damn, that was like 13 seconds, guys. Jeez. But they got me with that one. I'll admit. It was way better, way less obvious, and like more of a, gotcha, bitch. Didn't see that coming. Every aspect of this movie I feel like was just done better, including that one. And then the amusing young character that just gives you the thumbs up. I'm gonna look up a stationary image of that. But lastly, for my last note, we have to jump back a little bit. Whenever she's first walking into the chamber and she realizes that she's surrounded by the eggs, and there's the Mama Xenomorph, which I aptly have been naming the Xenomom. She like looks over to it, and then you see it lay one of the eggs. And then,
oh god!
The first thing I thought of
so
was
gross. So gross. Oh
the first thing I thought of while it lays the egg, and I said out loud, was, "Is that a cloaca?" To answer that question, yes, that technically is considered a cloaca. And all of the other stuff was the egg sack.
What did you look up? Alien cloaca?
No, I just looked up. All I had to look up was like, whenever chickens lay eggs, does it come out of the cloaca? Because I knew that's what that was, but I was like, right? And it is. That happens with certain reptiles. So I was like, yeah, it's
oh man,
that would be considered
freaking gross,
dude. I was like, and then of course she lights the whole place on fire.
The one thing I thought was like that I liked a lot about the movie was like costume design, like setting and like backdrop. Yeah. Again, it's in like an 80s movie. Is it? Or is it further than that? Who knows? Regardless,
sure,
it just has
that was not a very confident
it has
voice.
That like we've said before about movies like this in this time frame, it has a feel about it because everything's practical. Everything is like handmade.
1986.
Everything is
there you go.
There's no like, if there's digital effects, it's not a lot.
Yeah. Or
very good, so it's like
like the space scenes were amusing. Like, oh man, the first ship scene, I literally chuckled because it was like it like opened up or something, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. Yeah. This is why you guys do practical effects and not visual effects in this time period, because that was just funny.
But like you said, the suit, especially the suit for the Queen.
Yeah, like the Queen was well done. They put a lot of effort into
that shot. Whenever it's like still attached to the whole like,
and you've just got the silhouette
egg thing, and it's like this huge like menacing beast, and like it kind of like, I don't understand how it works, but like kind of makes its head pop out and like does this. It's kind of this whole gross moment, but like establishes like this is different and so much more.
Yeah.
And then of course, obviously, when it's like running around, it's like it looks different, and it's
fucking huge.
It felt natural. Like it didn't feel like a weird kind of puppet. Like whoa, look at me go. It felt very I don't know, purpose driven.
Yeah,
that
thing's fucking there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just like
really well done.
lumbering around.
Bonking its head on doors.
Right, that was funny. I'll give it that. That was very amusing. I was like, when it comes down to it, it looks really good in every way, and then it gets to the door, and suddenly it's just not intimidating anymore because it's just like bonking its head on the door,
into a battering ram.
Right, kind of slapping the door a few times. All the other ones like busting the doors down, but the mama just is like,
Some of the scenes with the regular like drones were really good.
Yeah, I really.
Yeah.
I
Like
thought.
whenever Ripley's like in the hive and you see one of them just hopping along the walls.
Yeah,
That shit was good.
I thought one of the ones where they like scurry around the vent really quickly was like, oh wow, that makes them look really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I like the scene where like it's like growling at them, and then he's like, I kept my shotty on hand and blows its head off.
Yeah.
That was a pretty solid scene. I was like,
Eat this.
Yeah, because he was just like, it's like growling with its mouth open, and he's just like, don't worry, guys, I kept this one just for this kind of situation, and it just kind of pops its head off there, and I was like, oh my.
Crazy.
But yeah,
Man, I liked also that each Marine felt like it had its own personality. Just like there was some obviously that kind of felt
friggin'
a little
Hudson,
more,
man.
they were like a little more weak, I guess, like as far as like personalities go. But like it felt like a good team of like individuals. You know, it wasn't just like a
ragtag.
You got Marine number 1, you got Marine number 2,
Right,
like that kind of stuff. It felt very.
I really liked the way I forgot her name, so I just started calling. She was the foreign one, but
Vasquez.
Yeah, sure. I was like the foreign one, Princess Jasmine.
She's a fucking legend.
I love how you said Jasmine, like she's like Indian, but
Like
she's
she was like
actually-
Arabian,
Yeah,
but
he's
she's
like,
actually
no, but
she's just like Hispanic.
that's exactly what she is.
But I was like, yeah, the Arabian princess, Princess Jasmine.
My big favorite.
But yeah, she
That's awesome.
I do like that. Like they did her character ending justice. Like she did. She died in a cool ass way by freaking blowing herself up. They also kind of redeemed the lieutenant guy that nobody liked in that scene too, because he like went back to help her and was like, "Well, we're going in," and she was like, "God, you're an asshole," and he was like, "Let's just die. let's just end this." Here.
Fucking whatever. I'm tired.
Yeah, right. Rest
I got
in
a
peace.
concussion already.
Of course, Hudson. Basically, never liked his character.
Oh man.
He was,
Yeah,
even in the beginning, he was kind of annoying, and I was
a
like,
big game.
yeah, right. He was just kind of
Couldn't
like,
really back it up at the end there.
no, exactly. I was like, Hudson, you're too much. Don't like you already. And then, of course, as soon as mild trauma, major trauma, but that everyone else was at least kind of coping with, he was just like, it's game over, man. And I was like, when are you dying, dude? And of course, in every movie that has this similar thing where people get the guy who's like freaking out stays the longest because he's freaking out, but he still usually doesn't make it to the end. And whenever he died, I was like, rest in peace, but also finally.
Now, but what about that Burke death scene, huh?
Oh,
Wait, what?
Burke. Where you got he
Burke,
fucking cornered himself in like a fucking closet or whatever, and the xenomorph was like, "What the fuck are you doing in here?"
Ow!
I actually don't know.
It was the point you literally said out loud. You're like, I can't wait for Burke to like. He's like stumbling around the hallway. He's like, I can't wait for him to turn around, open a door, and then a xenomorph. And then he proceeds to open a door and then gets chomped up.
Okay, sorry, Burke. I was thinking of the Marines and Burke.
sorry.
Like,
Okay.
that's why I was confused. I was like, what? Oh, yes, no. I was like, he was stumbling around because he was locking all the doors behind him. I was like,
Like
oh,
an
he's
idiot.
evil, right? Lock all the doors. I was like, oh, the evil guy's doing the evil thing. Oh, man. He's got somebody's boss. I can't wait for him to just have one of them just appear behind him and kill him. And then then he turns around and one of them's there and then he just dies. And I was like, rest in pepperonis, my man. Let's move on then. I'm trying to think of the guy who as soon as he woke up from his as soon as he woke it up,
Stay woked.
As soon as he woke it up from his cryo sleep, he immediately found somehow a cigar. That guy's the badass.
Apone.
Found he had like he had the in his hand already. He was just like
He was prepped. Yeah,
Like, where's my cigar?
yeah. He picked up right where he left off.
Mm-hmm.
That was the sergeant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the sergeant of the squad.
the
'Cause
coolest character.
That guy walked out and he was already like everyone else is still kind of like groggy and waking up, and he already has his dog tags on, his hat, and he's chomping on a cigar, going, "Oh, this is what I love the core."
Now,
Yeah.
that being said, I have a question.
He's basically
for the
just
two
the
of you.
other Black Sergeant guy from Halo. That's literally what I thought of.
Yes.
I was
Where
like,
do you
he's
think they
basically
got
ju-
their inspiration for their
Yeah.
Marines?
And I was like, dude, and it was perfect because he was just like, dude, the other coolest character in almost all of Halo. Sorry, Halo guy, Master Chief. I mean, I'm joking, but yeah, I'm like the other coolest guy in all of Halo, and then him. Like they're like neck and neck for how cool they are. They're my favorite character.
Yeah.
But like
That's funny.
I enjoyed his character a lot, even though rest.
That
in
guy was
peace.
chewing on that cigar like it was a piece of bubble gum.
Look into my eye.
Yeah. But oh man, I thought it was, and of course everyone's like, who's Snow White over there? And we're like, oh, she's the one who's seen more shit than all of you combined.
Yeah, for real.
But
She knows the real definition of trauma.
yeah, she knows fear.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Crazy.
I really did enjoy this movie a lot. I thought it was pretty.
I'm glad. I
That's pretty
figured you
good.
would. I
Yeah.
remember, like I said,
Yeah.
and I remember
All
I
of
kinda
my
mentioned it.
complaints about the last one basically told you guys that I would like this one because
Yes,
all those
exactly.
complaints were remedied. Like
Yeah.
all of them. I think they did like a good job. Like there was a couple of things where I was like, oh yeah, of course. Even like the one time I agreed with Hudson was whenever they were like, this whole planet's gonna blow up in the next 4 hours, and Hudson was like, oh, of effing course, that's gonna happen. I was like, honestly, I agree with Hudson here. I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure, that's the next thing that's gonna happen, right? After all of this, we're gonna wait it out. No, whole planet's gonna blow up. You know what? This is a foreseeable end.
You know,
I agree.
cool.
I agree with
Goody.
Hudson on this one. Damn it. But
Crazy.
yeah. What I don't what was sad about was that my Arabian princess, her boyfriend dying so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake.
Because he was cool as hell, man.
She indirectly did him in because she shot a xenomorph that was like coming up on him,
Mm-hmm.
and the acid
Yeah.
blood.
I mean, he was
got
going to die
all over
otherwise.
him. Oh yeah.
That sucks.
He was going
man.
to die otherwise. But I was just like, no, he was actually like a really kind of badass character.
Yeah.
So
He was the other sentry gunman.
Right.
yeah, he was the one with the cool gun.
Other super cannon.
What you call
Yeah.
a little
Ion-
glide cam
Ion
gyroscope looking.
Yeah.
ion destabilizer cannon or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah. So and then the planet
Positronic.
got nuked and they lived happily ever after. Well, the remaining ones who didn't die lived happily ever
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. I don't think the whole planet's gone. I think it's just that facility.
Well, I hope the whole planet's gone.
Nah, definitely
It should
not.
be.
I hope at least a solid quarter of that planet is gone, as well as the mother alien, and we're done. Because apparently I was told that there is not a third movie.
Yeah.
So this is it. The end.
I'm glad you enjoyed the.
I'm glad you enjoyed the whole franchise because there isn't a third one.
Nope. There's
There isn't
no
a-
other ones
There
either.
isn't a prequel or sequels.
Nope. Ends there.
I legitimately didn't know there was prequels.
The prequel, there was a movie that came out back in like 2012 or 2013 or whatever called Prometheus.
Oh, wait, but didn't you say that I had to have watched that for something to make sense in the movie?
I mean,
You don't have to, but it's a. I heard it wasn't a great movie, but it is
Oh,
a
oh.
prequel.
Oh, like yeah. That's where the ship came from. Or whatever.
Yeah.
it's a pretty movie.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's still an interesting movie as far as like
Mm-hmm.
people getting killed goes. So
Doesn't have the quality. Should we watch it? I think you mentioned this actually. You were like we probably shouldn't watch it for the podcast because it's not.
I don't know. I feel
that
like a lot
good.
of people didn't like it at first because it wasn't directly associated with the Alien movies
Mm-hmm.
until like the very end.
Yeah,
Was when people figured it out.
I feel like you were like we should probably watch it. Probably not for the podcast though. Like it's not really like.
I think he was talking about the third Alien for that.
Yeah, the third
Oh, the
one we
third-
can
third
watch for
Alien
shits and giggles.
Okay, cool. I was
But,
like, for one of those two, we should watch
We
it.
can
'cause
watch the rest of them for shits and giggles too.
if
Though. Like
we-
AVP, we have to.
if we watch them, then we can have a podcast of me just roasting them. Because like I said, I have liked.
Yeah, fuck it. Why am I even limiting material for this for? What the fuck?
I was like, because we're currently limiting it to like classics and things that are good that we're gonna talk about. Like,
Nah, fuck it. We're watching bad shit too.
Yeah.
Well, first off, yes, Ouija Shark on the
What?
list.
Ouija
Oh my
shark.
God.
Oh god.
Ouija Shark, let's
Please,
go.
no.
We'll tack that on.
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster. If we have to, and he
Oh
won't let
my
us do a whole
God.
episode on it, we'll just tack it into the last 5 minutes of a random episode. Be like
Please remind me.
Velocipaster.
One of you remind me to put the Street Fighter movie on the list because
Oh my
holy
God,
shit,
dude.
that's
Yeah, no.
some shit right there.
Originally, we were watching like. I haven't seen all these good movies and all these classics. We should watch all these classics.
You know what
and
else
good
you haven't
movies.
seen? All these fucking bad ones.
Which is also a good point. We should throw at least a bad one in there once in a while. Which is what I was saying. I was like, if I roasted the first one and I hear that these other ones aren't that good, can I just Can I just roast
It's
them
a
too?
fucking gold
We
mine,
found the
man.
good one. We found the one that I
Holy
like.
shit.
It's the Aliens is what I thought Alien would be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was going to be, like, action-packed, but I thought it was just going to be the one Alien. It was kind of confusing, but I thought it was going to be, like, action-packed and, like, solid. And, I don't know, I didn't get in the first one, but in this one,
Cool.
awesome.
Oh, yes.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for this? Because we got to start wrapping it up.
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've seen enough.
Well,
I'm
apparently-
satisfied.
Apparently now that we have a little short list of trash movies we need to watch.
Yes.
Velocipaster.
So I'll keep that in the forefront of my head so that way we know.
I feel like we should have a name for that.
What do you mean?
Do we even want to make like a segment out of this, or is it just going to be like...
I mean,
Trash Movies Corner is the... We don't have to have a whole episode on the trash movies, but we just have to have a little corner for
I mean,
them.
if we don't want to make a whole episode about one movie, I guess we can have like the occasional episode where it's like
2 or 3 trash movies.
take out the trash time or something like that, you know.
No.
It's just like real bad movies.
We'll post it on Tuesday, though, because then we'll just take out the trash Tuesdays.
Bad movie moment or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then we'll just like do a little like 2 or 3 or 4 like little snippets of like, ooh, yikes.
I just want to sit down and roast some more movies.
We'll think about it.
As much
Oh,
as
we
I
will,
I
don't
love
you
talking about
worry.
the things I love in movies, but also I gotta admit it's pretty funny to talk about bad ones too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Or talk about things that you don't like in movies, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That'll be a good one.
I think we have a good enough backlog of good episodes where we're actually
Oh.
talking good about
Oh, yeah.
movies. But I think
Yeah.
we start talking some real trash about stuff.
Now
we can
it's
go-
time to be mean.
Now
If we
it's
turn
time
this
to
if we turn this podcast
belittle.
into a comedy now, like, just for a week.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We take our legs that we've got and then we start running with them.
Well, you've heard our reviews, but let's talk about how bad this one is.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys are looking for all of our social media links or where you can find us, you can look at our Linktree /Ian Wolf, and it has all of our places where you can get
Big tree, small tree.
all of our links to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. We have a YouTube channel as well. Oh my god. No way.
Yeah, dude. In the fridge, I got like a ton of
He
apple
bought
slices.
apples and it's not. Never mind. Just
Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.
help! Help! I'm being repressed.
So quiet, you.